Romantic Wednesdays with Poetry. I am Alisa Agnes, your host, and I believe it's time to get real and spill some tea or coffee. So today we'll continue talking about Traitorous Romeo, and let me remind you that it's an alternative story of Romeo and Juliet, where Romeo decided to go and search for other women except Juliet, so it doesn't end like in the William Shakespeare's drama, but it's this kind of a very sad story anyway. But today you will learn more about next two poems from this cycle. One poem is called Red Tears, and the second one is Gustaw to Świtezianka. So at first let me read you the first poem, which is really short, and later I will tell you a few words about this, and then we'll talk about the second one. And the second one probably will be little longer discussed, because I think there's more that I need to explain out there, and I guess just the title tells you that you really need it too. I guess so. So let me read you Red Tears right now. Red Tears. Garden of black roses, cold like a grave. Red tears dripping, the one I trusted, betrayed. So, that's the Red Tears. As you can see, it's simply about a garden where there are nothing but black roses, and the black is the color of funeral and grief and this kind of stuff. So this garden is cold like a grave, literally, and in such a metaphorical way. Red tears dripping. When you think of red tears, maybe you think of blood, and that's that as well. But when you cry so much, your eyes turn red, and if you never noticed, then you can tell yourself that you're really lucky. And these red tears appear in Juliet's eyes because she realized that Romeo betrayed her, and that's the end of the story. And that's what this poem is all about. It's a very short way of saying that you're really, really sad because of this thing that happened. And these tears and this garden of black roses is a symbol of this really sad and tough situation. Okay, so I think you already know what inspired me to write this whole cycle, so let me not repeat it now. So let's move on to the second title right now. So I will read you Gustaw to Świtezianka right now, and later I will tell you more about this poem. So that's Gustaw to Świtezianka. If you break your word, it's your problem, not mine. If you break your promise, it's your sin, not mine. If somebody wants to tear us apart, then I'm feeling sorry for them. So this poem is a little bit longer than the previous one, and Gustaw is a character from Adam Mickiewicz drama, and there were a few parts of this drama called Dziady, what is such a Slavic kind of a Halloween, and Gustav is a character which appears in a few of those parts of this drama, parts 2, 4 and 3, and what is very important, these parts are called like that, but it doesn't mean that there was the first part, they are just called like that. And Gustav is the character who appears as a ghost who died for love, and later in the third part of this drama we can see the transformation of this guy, and he changes his name from Gustav to Konrad, and he forgets about his loss and about his love, and he starts to fight for his country. So that's Gustav. Świtezianka is another character from Adam Mickiewicz poetry, and this name is a reference to the lake Świtez, and it's such a also Slavic mermaid kinda, and she appears in the poem which is called just like that, I mean Świtezianka, and there we can see her with a lover, and they meet by this lake from which she comes from, but he promised that he would always love only her, but then she decided to turn into another woman to see if he would be faithful, and he broke his promise, but he didn't know that that other woman was still the same mermaid. And later she showed her real face to her lover, and when he realized that he was corrupt, then she just took him and drowned in this lake, and that's the end of the poetry, which is also in Polish called as a ballad. And this is what this reference means in this poem. So we have a situation in this poem about breaking a promise, but here we have a little bit different situation, because Gustav says these words about breaking the promise to this mermaid. So it's a little bit twisted story, but it's still about breaking the promise, and I felt like this is the right place for this poem to be here in this cycle, because what inspired me is the real event of breaking a promise. I mean, when some guy promises not to do something anymore and then he goes and does it, then it's like, this just like the situation from this poem. That promise was simply broken, and that's what inspired me to write this poem. But it's also about somebody else. It's like saying words of a warning, and and I just felt like if something is meant to be, then it's a really not a pretty situation when somebody is trying to break somebody's relationship, and you can only feel sorry for such a person who tries to break something. Yep, and that's all that I can tell you about this poem. I know this episode isn't too long, but sometimes there's not much to say, to be honest, and when such poems are rather short, sometimes you can say what you have to in just very few sentences. So I guess it's time to end this episode, but this cycle will get one more episode in the next month. I will tell you more about broken days and broken glass then. And well, I guess you can already guess right now that you can expect a song in the next week, but to keep a surprise for you anyway, I won't say the title. You will see. So yep, that's all. You know what to expect, so I guess it's time to tell you until the next time. Yep, bye.